Hey there, and welcome. Have you ever thought about the rules for giving or receiving a big cash gift here in the UK? Well, today we're diving deep into that with some expert guidance from our friends at Pro Tax Accountant. We're going to break down everything you need to know about declaring cash gifts to HMRC for the 2025-26 tax year. So, let's get right into it.
All right, let's start with a little thought experiment. Just imagine for a second that this number, £50,000, magically appears in your bank account. It's a gift from a relative. Amazing, right? But it also opens up a whole can of worms. What's your next move? And more importantly, does the taxman need to know about it?
And just so you know you're in safe hands, all the information we're covering today comes straight from the brilliant minds at Pro Tax Accountant. They're a top-tier UK accounting firm, so you can be sure everything we talk about is accurate, up-to-date, and super practical.
Okay, let's get down to brass tacks. Before we even get into the tax side of things, we have to be really clear on what HMRC actually calls a gift. Honestly, getting this part right is the foundation for everything else, so let's break it down.
So, in the eyes of the taxman, what is a cash gift? Well, it's pretty simple. It's any money you get without having to give anything back in return. That could be a big one-off payment, maybe some regular help with bills, or even a generous wedding present. But, and this is a really crucial point that catches people out, while the gift itself is usually tax-free for you, the receiver, any income you make from that gift, like interest you earn on it in a savings account, yeah, that is taxable.
So, you've received a gift. Does that automatically mean you're in for a tax headache? Absolutely not. And here's the really good news. The UK tax system actually has some pretty generous allowances that let people give and receive gifts completely tax-free. Let's take a look at what they are.
These are your main tools for tax-free gifting, so listen up. First, you've got the annual exemption. Every tax year, you can give away up to £3,000 and it won't even be considered for inheritance tax. Simple. Then there's the small gifts exemption, which is perfect for birthdays. You can give up to £250 to as many different people as you want. And for weddings, the limits get even better. A parent can gift £5,000, a grandparent £2,500, and anyone else can give £1,000, all completely tax-free.
And here is a fantastic pro tip for you. If you don't use up your £3,000 annual exemption in one year, you can actually carry it forward to the next tax year. That means you could potentially give a single gift of £6,000, completely tax-free. It's a brilliant little rule that really rewards a bit of forward planning.
Now, these allowances are great, but they obviously bring up a big question. What happens when you get that £50,000 gift we were talking about? It's way bigger than these tax-free amounts. That's not all. This is where most people really need to start paying close attention.
And that brings us to the biggest, most important part of UK gift tax, the 7-year rule. Seriously, if you only remember one thing from our chat today, make it this. This single rule is what determines whether a large gift truly gets away from the taxman for good.
So, how does it work? I want you to think of it like a ticking clock, a 7-year countdown that starts the very second the gift is made. For the first 3 years, that gift is potentially fully on the hook for inheritance tax if the giver passes away. But after year 3, this thing called taper relief kicks in, and it starts to gradually reduce that potential tax bill. If the person who gave the gift lives for a full 7 years, the clock stops and boom, the gift is completely free from inheritance tax.
This table right here shows you exactly how that taper relief works in practice. So, if the person who gave you the money passes away between 3 and 4 years later, the tax rate on it is 32%. Between 4 and 5 years, it drops down to 24%. And as you can see, the rate just keeps on falling each year until, after the full 7 years, it hits 0.
So the bottom line is this. Time is everything. If the gift was given more than 7 years before the person's death, it's generally safe from inheritance tax. But if it was given inside that 7-year window, it might get pulled back into their estate for tax calculations, after you've taken off any exemptions they used, like that initial £3,000.
Okay, I know that was a lot to take in, but it's such vital information. So now, let's get practical. What are the exact steps you need to follow to make sure you're doing everything by the book? Stay with me here, knowing these next steps can save you a world of hassle down the line.
Your action plan really just boils down to a simple 3-step process. Step 1, and this is non-negotiable, keep accurate records. Write down the amount, the date, and who gave you the gift. Step 2, figure out the tax situation. Use what we've just learned to see if that 7-year rule might apply. And finally, step 3, report to HMRC if you need to. If there's a potential tax bill, you have to use the right forms to declare it.
Phew, we've covered a lot of ground, haven't we?
from the basic definitions all the way to the nitty-gritty of the 7-year rule. So let's just quickly recap the most important things to remember, and we'll talk about when it's time to call in the professions.
All right, let's do a quick-fire round of the essentials. First, that £3,000 annual exemption is your best friend. Use it. Second, for any gift that's on the larger side, that 7-year rule is absolutely critical. Third, always keep detailed records. And finally, don't forget that any income your gift starts to generate is taxable. If you can master these 4 points, you're well on your way to staying compliant.
Now, it is incredibly important that I say this very clearly. The information we've talked about today is for general guidance. It's here to help you understand the landscape. Tax law is seriously complex, and everyone's personal situation is unique, so you should never, ever rely solely on this to make your financial decisions. And that's exactly why, before you make any big decisions about a cash gift, it is absolutely essential that you go and talk to a qualified tax expert. They're the only ones who can really dig into your specific circumstances and give you advice that's tailored just for you. For that expert, personalized advice, you can reach out directly to the fantastic team at Pro Tax Accountant. You can get them on WhatsApp or by phone at 07-985-68-9912. You can also drop them an email at info@protaxaccountant.co.uk. For an even more detailed breakdown, you should definitely read their full article on this topic. The web address is on your screen right now. And of course, while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to their YouTube channel for more brilliant financial guidance. Thanks so much for watching.